Well, hello everyone. This time I have some stuff to show you. I have been a busy person. Kind of. So I had planned on doing this as like all free patterns, but some things got in the way and it didn't quite work out that way. But I do have some free and some paid patterns. Three of each, 3 free ones and 3 paid. One of which I've already shown you guys, but I just wanted to show you that my first one was just a happy accident because the second one didn't quite come out the same. Strange how that works. So anyhow, I had a designer contact me on Instagram, and they offered to give me a pattern for free to try it out and to review their pattern. So I took a peek and I'm like, oh, it looks easy enough. And I said, okay, so I'm going to show you this pattern. It is by the Knotty, Knotty, Knotty Pod. And it's called Frankie the Frog. Now, from behind, you're saying, oh, that's just an ordinary leggy frog. Well, it's not. This is Frankie, and his little mouth opens. Okay. Now, this one, for me, I used the Hobie Honey Bunny, and it is just big enough with a little extra space to hold business cards. And I thought, well, that's really cute. But if you used, like, say, Bernat Blanket or, a jumbo yarn where you can use a bigger hook, you could totally make a cell phone holder. Like for when you're throwing it in your bag, totally make a cell phone holder out of this. It's really straightforward and it was easy to make and it is functional. Now, I don't know if the leggy frog trend is over or not, but I thought it was kind of a cool idea with the mouth opening like that, and it can actually be functional besides just cute. So, Knotty, Knotty, Pod. This is Frankie the Frog. She has an Etsy shop, and I will link her shop down below. So that was one thing, and it's really fast to make. The next one I tried is a Madeline Mako pattern, and Sue, over in Crafty Sue 519, I went to visit her at her craft fair, and she had one of these sitting there, and I'm like, oh, it is so cute. Now, she made hers out of Premier's chenille, the kind they sell on a cone, but she gets hers in a little 65 yard skein from Dollar Tree, and it was so stinking cute, and I'm like, oh, I want to make that. So I got the pattern, and I did mine out of Big Twist Posh, and it's still cute, but I think the arms came out rather long. It might just be my imagination, because I thought it looked so much cuter out of that chenille yarn that she used from Dollar Tree. But if you're tired of the ordinary bees, these are really cute. And they're small, and they're quick. And other than attaching the wings, which I did the wings different, I struggled. I could not get the wings to come out. They kept wanting to roll up on me. They wouldn't stay flat. So I just did the typical round wings and sewed those on. Everything else, well, you have to sew the antenna on too. I lied. So you have to sew the antenna on and the wings. Everything else is no-sew. And it's kind of cute. It's got personality, if nothing else. And this, I think the pattern's like if she's still running her sale, it's like 90 cents for the pattern. I mean, you can't beat the price. So those were technically 2 of the 3 paid patterns that I did. Now the next one that I did was I wanted to make another one of Rosalie Toys' cows. Because last time, you know, I was like, I did a sunflower cow out of it, and I would pull it out, but it's in a tote buried over in the corner there, waiting to go to market. And I'm just not feeling ambitious enough to go unbury it. But I'm sure you guys will remember. If not, I'll pop in a picture. But I did it with colors to make it a sunflower cow. And the head was tilted just ever so slightly, you know, just like it was just glancing over at you. So we were all curious. Is that the way the pattern's supposed to be? Because that was my first one. Or was it just a happy accident? Well, I'm here to tell you, I think it was just a happy accident. So I did another one, and this time I did it in black and white. And these are nice because they are no-sew. And they don't really take that long. So here's a little black and white. Much easier than my other cow pattern, which I still need to make a couple more of. But I have time. I'm not going to another market till the 27th. So I have time. So yeah, did a little black and white cow. And then I said, really all I have are animals. And I guess you could call this next one an animal too, but it's kind of like a hybrid, part people, part animal. So this one is a free pattern off of Instagram, and it is a mermaid. The pattern is by Atomic Crochet. It is fairly easy and quick to make up. The only part I didn't really care for was the hair part. It gives you directions to do the long hair, and then it shows you with the little buns, which I thought would be easier, but it didn't quite tell you how to handle like finishing this off, the bottom of the hair. So I just like left off the long strands and continued around to finish up the row. So biggest thing with this pattern is it does not give you stitch counts at the end of each round. And seems to me that there was a round that the stitch, it was off. Or I might be thinking of something else. I don't remember now. But of the different mermaid patterns I've tried, this one was the easiest one for me with the fins. The faces, I feel like I can never get the faces right. Like they showed little eyelashes and stuff. And I tried, and I could not get it to look right. I might try again. I don't know. But I kind of wanted to have a couple, you know, with different skin tones, go darker and maybe go lighter. But the hair will be a total turnoff for me. I don't know. I didn't care for the way the hair's done. I mean, I don't know how else you'd do it unless you, like, gave it some wild looking loops or something. But for the most part, it's a fairly easy pattern. They just don't give you the stitch counts. So you might want to go through and add them up and write it down before you start if you decide to try it. This is an older pattern because it's like one of the first ones I saved a year ago. So a lot of you may have already tried it. Some of you might be new to making the plushies and have never seen it. But it does work up easy. You just have to be careful with stitch counts not being available for you. So that's 4. We're moving along really quick. Then This one I just recently found, and I think it's only been posted on Instagram for about a week. And I made 3 of them. They're really easy to do, but I will say when you get to round 6, there's a mistake in the stitch counts. And where if you stop where it says it gives you the instructions for, you will fall short. So you just have to continue on till you get to the end of the round, and you will end up with, I think it's 36 stitches like you're supposed to have, but it just like stopped, and it's like, where's the rest of the stitches? But anyways, it's this little crab. It is just the cutest little thing, and it is so quick. You just have to keep in mind that that one round is not complete in the pattern instructions. So I did red and white because that was the instructions that it gave, and this is by Katie's Cute Crochet. So I did the red and white. And then I said, you know what? Let's do a pink one. So I did pink with the lighter pink on the bottom. And I'm like, these are just so cute, and they're so easy and quick, and they're no-sew. So then the next morning, I said, you know, I want to make a blue crab. Because, you know, when you catch them fresh out of the ocean, they're blue. So I did blue and light blue. But I messed up his legs because, you know, I was just so full of confidence. Like, oh, I can do this. I don't need the instructions now. I did the legs with slip stitch, and they're supposed to be single crochet. So they're not as firm as they could be because I just think I'm just a know-it-all. But I showed this to John, and I'm holding it like this. And I'm like, what do you think this is? And guess what he said? A frog. But in fairness, we have one of those yellow lights on the porch, you know, so that it doesn't attract moths and things like that. And it did make this look green. It made the blue look green. So it still doesn't look like a frog. But just in his defense. So while I was sitting there making that blue crab, I get a message on YouTube from somebody telling me that Crochet by Jenna released her dragon pattern a day early. And I'm like, no way. So I went right over and I bought it because what intrigued me the most is that it is a no-sew pattern. And it just looked really cute from her pictures and what little bit I've seen in some of her videos. So I bought the pattern, finished up my few orders that I had for the day, and I started on the pattern. Now, when I was working on this, Heather was doing her live, and I messed up. So I had to frog, and then I lost my spot. So where I ended off, I just like restarted that next round on the bottom part of the neck. So I fully expected my stitches to be like, I gotta adjust my bobbles and stuff like that because it's my own fault. Now I made the mistake of trying to do a new pattern that I've never done before with toucan yarn. And it's not frog friendly, but I want to use this stuff up. So this was my first one. And it was in this area here where I messed up. And no, it was up higher. It was up in this area because it was in the neck. So when I restarted to go from where I was at, I just made my starting point on the bottom part of the neck. Now the face on these things are just absolutely adorable. The camera doesn't do it any justice. It's just, they are absolutely adorable. Now, what I will say from my experience with this pattern, and because I messed up, I did make a second one because I wanted to make sure my struggles that I was having wasn't because I messed up and because of my yarn choice. So every single round, which is about every third round, I missed a bobble stitch in here. And I didn't realize that until after I was done and I was comparing my dragon to the pictures of her dragon. And I'm like, she has 7 spikes. I have 6. Well, I missed one right in here, in the same round as the legs. So every round that contained a bobble or attaching the legs or the wings or the legs or the bobbles, every round I was off and I had to adjust it. So it took me a little bit longer. And then of course I was this toucan yarn. But I just figured that was because I messed up and I wasn't starting off exactly where I should have been starting off. So I just went with it. So I said, well, let me try another one because I want to see if it's me, you know, because I just think these are so cute. So yeah, I did a second one. Now in the pattern, she notes that if the wings are too floppy for you, you can stitch, sew it down some more. But what I did instead of sewing it down is in the round where you attach the wings, you attach it with 2 single crochet stitches into 2 single crochets. Well, the next round, I just picked up 2 more stitches on the wings right in here. And they're still floppy, but they're not as floppy. So this one I worked on, and I did not get to the point where I messed up and had to restart a round or anything. But again, every single round that something got attached or there was a bobble, I was way off. I was way, way off. And I thought, well, maybe it's just because I'm tired. And then when I got to the round with the wings, for some reason, I struggled. I was like, kept attaching it wrong and had to keep pulling it out and putting it back on. And then I'd look at it and I'm like, nope, that's not right. What am I doing wrong? I just like brain fart. I finally got it though, obviously. And I added a little spade to the end of this one's tail. I just think they're cute. I'm going to keep working at this until I can figure out what I'm doing wrong. Is it me or is it the pattern? I don't know yet. So today, I had to make another one. And it was the same thing. I figured if I do a third one, I'll know for sure if it's me or if it's the pattern. And I'm still not really 100% sure, but I had the same issue. Every round that had a bobble, every round where you attached a leg or a wing or anything like that, I had an issue with where the different things were going to land. But this one is today's, and it's made with Premier's Pom Pom and bright pink and bubblegum, I think. Now I did the colors a little different. Like normally with the other ones, I followed the directions where the little spikes get their own color, and that's the only time it's used. But on this one, I did the spikes the same colors as the wings, and I wanted to put the bubblegum, or not the horns, not the spikes, the same color as the wings. And then I did bubblegum for the spikes down the back. But I had the same problem. So then I went on Etsy, where I could like really zoom in on her pictures. And from her pictures, it looks like she does yarn under, and I do yarn under. But she looks like she has really loose tension. And I'm just speculating just by going from the looks of the picture. So maybe I crochet too tight. Maybe I should just go down a hook size and relax my tension a little bit and see if that helps me with the placement. Because I wasn't off by like just move a stitch to the right or move a stitch to the left. I would be off by like 5, 6, 7 stitches. And I don't know, that to me does not sound like it's tension. I mean, I don't know. But I love how these look. I'm not giving up yet. I am not giving up yet. I am going to make another one. And I'm going to take notes for myself. Like round, I don't know, round 10. How many stitches did it take me to get to the place where I need to be for that spike? And just make a note of it. And then the next round that has a spike or a wing attached or a leg attached. How many stitches did it take me to get to where I need to be? And then I'll try it a 5th time, following my notes, and see if I can get it to work for me. Because if I wasn't trying to figure out where to land my stitch at every single time, it would go quick, I think. I think you could a little over an hour, because I started timing myself with this one. The legs and the wings took me about a half hour. It doesn't seem like it would take that long to do those little things, but it did. It took me about a half hour. And then the head up to where I started attaching things. And then when the wing situation happened, I lost track of the time. It was one of those where you got to sit it down, walk away, go cuss under your breath a little bit, and come back to it. Of the 3 of them, it's a toss-up between these 2, which one is my favorite. So, I mean, it has different wings. If you don't like the wings, you can always do different wings and put on there. So, I don't know. I just kind of like the 2 color palettes here. Of these 2. And I thought this one was pretty until I did these. And this is Crochet by Jenna's newest pattern release. And it's the 2nd pattern that I've tried from her. But yeah, I struggled with this. It could be me, could be the pattern. I'm not telling you run out and get it or don't run out and get it. I'm just saying I had my own issues with it. But I love them. They are so cute. Also on this one, because this is black, I didn't have the right size eyes. Like it says to use a 12mm eye. I used a 15mm eye that had color to it. And I think it looks okay. Don't you? I don't think they're too big for it. I don't know. I got to try another one, and I got to keep notes. But that is what I have been up to. I still have to finish my other dragon, the Red Mills Crochet Dragon. And can't do anything with the strawberry cow until the right color pink gets here. And you still don't get to see what my pattern test was. Not until the 15th. That will be release day. And then I'll get to show you what that was. But yeah, so on that note, I'm going to say goodnight. And I just might go start another one of these dragons. And mark down my stitch counts so that I can test it and see if it's me. I might try doing yarn over, because then I'll have a little bit looser of a tension if I do yarn over, and it'll come out a little bit bigger than this. So I don't know. Regardless, I'm going to play with it some more, and I'm going to go do that right now. And I will see you in the next video.